Hi team, I quickly wanted to take you through the reschedule process. I want to run through an example, a test lead, specifically with my details, and there's no real details to show here, just so that we can run through this demo together. Okay, so here is a client called Ricky James. He is a test lead. He's currently sitting in a sales call. So I want to run you through the reschedule process. There are going to be two scenarios here. The first scenario is Ricky James gives me a new date and time for the appointment, at which point we reschedule and then book the appointment straight away, or book the appointment straight away. And then the second is Ricky James doesn't answer his phone, and therefore we have no new date and time. Both of those scenarios, they start in the same place, and what you do at sales call level is you take the reschedule action, which is available to you. Some of these actions you guys won't see, as this is obviously a management oversight view, but you definitely would see the reschedule action. Okay, so you take the reschedule action, and then you'll put notes there, client RS. Okay, FDE date, that's an important action, and dependent on what scenario it is, depending on what the FDE date is. So if it is scenario 1, the customer or Ricky has given you a new date and time for, let's call it Monday at 12 o'clock, then you wouldn't update the FDE date further than what is today, because you'll be working on it today still. If the client didn't answer his call, or didn't answer your call, sorry, then you would make the FDE date for the next day in which you want to phone the client to try and reschedule again. Okay, so let's look at scenario 1. FDE date obviously would be today, right? So you're not going to take anything further than today, and that is 2025. So I'm going to update that quickly to today. All right, cool. Right. As I mentioned, both scenarios would land up in the reschedule appointment status. This is a transitory status. Basically, what this means is that you are wanting to still reschedule the appointment when the job arrives in this status. Okay. In scenario 1, at this point, you have got a new appointment date and time, which is when you take the reschedule sales call action. This means that you've got a new sales call, which is a new appointment, which you'd want to see the customer. Okay, so let's go run through that example on this, or that scenario on this lead. So yeah, I take the action reschedule sales call, and then ask you to add the notes. Here you're going to add next or appointment RS, or like I said, Monday, the 20th of the 4th at 12 p.m. Okay. What you do here is obviously update the FDE date for that appointment date, being Monday. What you're also going to do, which is not part of this demonstration, is you would then go to your diary and you would move the lead on your calendar or your diary to the Monday, the 20th at 12 p.m. That's important so that the office can match up the notes on Zoho with the calendar entry on your calendar or your diary. Okay, so I click save. What you'll see what happens here now is it moves it into the status called new job allocation. And as I mentioned, this is for the office to look and compare your diary with the notes on Zoho, and if they match, an allocation happens. So the office would then allocate the appointment, and all is in order. If the appointments don't match, a question would be raised to say that we see there's a new appointment date according to Zoho for Monday the 20th at 12, but we don't see it on the diary, at which point the office would give you a call to verify that this appointment is happening. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go and move this lead back to the reschedule app status, just so we can go to the second scenario. Okay. Okay. All right, so it's back in reschedule appointment. Now we work on the second scenario where Ricky James didn't answer his call, so you have no new appointment date. Obviously, if you made the note to call them on Monday, you call the client on Monday to try and get the new appointment date. Let's assume, or let's pretend Ricky James didn't answer his call to reschedule this appointment again, at which point you take the action no contact 1. Okay, that's the next available action for you on the available action list here. So no contact 1 means that I've not been able to reach this customer. Okay. And you make a note there saying no contact. And the FTE date would be the next available, or the next date which you want to plug in that you want to call this client again. So let's say you want to call them on Wednesday. Make it FTE date for Wednesday, and then on Wednesday this will pop up on your dashboard to call the client. Okay. All right. So now it's in schedule contact 1, which means that you've tried to schedule this appointment or reschedule the appointment at least 1 time. Okay. At this point, you have another available action called no contact 2, and that's in the event that the client doesn't answer a call for the second time to reschedule the appointment. But let's pretend this client answered the call now on the your second attempt. At which point now you want to go and schedule this appointment or reschedule the appointment rather, and confirm it for the office to allocate to you. And update Zoho accordingly. So, all right. So what you do is you take the schedule 1. So it's scheduling in the first contact attempt to reschedule. And now again, it's ask you the same questions. Under notes, you're going to put in new appointment dates. Let's say new Thursday now, which is the 23rd of the 4th. And let's say we're doing it at 10 a.m. Okay. Again, what you do is you go back to your calendar or your diary and you'd move the appointment to Thursday, the 23rd at 10 a.m. for the office to confirm. Okay. I'll then move the FTE date to my next appointment date or when the appointment's happening, which is Thursday, and save. Okay. When I take this action, you'll see what happens. Oh boy, the action didn't save. So let me update this. Sorry, supposed to have saved this. Frustrating. Let's go do that again. Okay, back to, sorry, no, it's actually in contact 1. So schedule contact 1. Type in schedule contact 1. Okay, we're back to this point. Let's redo that. Sorry, this action used to put it back in reschedule, which was part of the back office involvement in your leads or your jobs rather. Now you guys are directly involved in it, so you are able to take that action all the way through to a sales call. Okay, so here we go and take the action. Schedule 1, reschedule, re-enter the same notes. Thursday, 23rd at 10 a.m. Again, make sure your calendar matches that. FTE 23rd, save. Okay. Now puts it back in a new job allocation required, which is the same process we went through earlier. Now the office would then go and confirm that the notes on Zoho match the diary entry on your calendar or diary, and then allocate it accordingly. Okay, and thereafter it goes to the sales call for you to restart the process and hopefully quote and close the customer. All right, cool guys. Any questions? Let me know.